Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Alright, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the glow, applause and aliveness of those of you who have Sun located within the 11th house within your natal birth chart, but also for those of you who have the sign of Leo ruling the 11th house within your natal birth chart or sitting within the 11th house in your birth chart as well. But before we do get started, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already and to click that little bell icon so that you can keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more quick thing to mention, if you would like to know more information all about your Sun sign, your Sun house, along with your Leo house and your 5th house within your birth chart, then I have created a Leo season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Okay, so with all those introductions out of the way, Sun in the 11th house and Leo ruling the 11th house individuals, let's do this. Okay, so if you have Sun in the 11th house or Leo within the 11th house here in your birth chart, then what this suggests is that you come alive whenever you are a part of a group, a movement, a community, or a social circle. And so to find people who you can connect with over similar interests and ideas may be very exciting and fun for you. And to find a certain tribe that uplifts you, validates you and encourages you, then even better. Basically, you're someone who enjoys being in other people's company, provided that company resonates with you and keeps you entertained. Now, I'm not saying that you are automatically going to have loads of friends or that you want to be surrounded by loads of people. It really, of course, depends on the sign that the Sun is in, along with aspects to the Sun as well, naturally. But there seems to be a desire here to glow whenever you're a part of something that's greater than yourself. There's sort of a desire, or like an ability, I suppose, to shine whenever you're a part of something that's greater than yourself. See, it's not enough to shine within your own right, because maybe you seek to actually influence others to shine along with you. And so you might decide to be a part of a certain social circle or a party that's filled with a certain special glow, a certain special radiance about it. So this could be you joining a certain social movement or political movement that's message is all about greatness and love and energy. Or this could be you joining a friendship circle as another example, where members are inclusive and generous and good-hearted and just proud of one another. And if we were to even take this a step further, maybe for some of you, you seek to really lead or manage a group of some sort. So this could be you hosting classes, or starting a YouTube channel, or setting up your own organization, or setting up your own charity. And as you lead groups of people, you're able to grab their attention as you draw people in with your charisma. Could even very well be suggested that there's just so much strength in your influence that others see you as this heroic character. Maybe they look up to you and they hold you to a very high standard, or they might even put you on a pedestal. Either that, or you put yourself on a pedestal. And of course, if this is the case, be careful here, Sun in the 11th house individuals, because the moment that you fall, there may be a lot of people watching you. Though seeing as we're on this point, there is something else that I want to touch on for just a moment, because there is a tendency of you losing your individual identity within group identities that you join or are a part of. So a certain common idea that a group shares collectively, you might filter everything about yourself through this common idea. You might even filter your ego through the group's objectives and or goals, possibly causing you to find it sort of difficult to think for yourself. And so with these two implications as mentioned, be mindful, Sun in the 11th house, Leo ruling the 11th house individuals, because you might lose sight of your individuality when A, you become the hero that everyone has been looking for, either consciously or unconsciously, or B, you live every single aspect of your life based on a community's idea or based on a collective's identity. Naturally, of course, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just making you aware of potential implications that may arise. Though I will say that it might actually be you who puts others on pedestals, where you look up to certain inspirational people who you admire and who you truly aspire to be like, people who you really appreciate. And in your mind, you know, they may be perfect, they may be superior, they may be all-knowing, but then it's also these types of people whose ideas that then, as well, you incorporate into your own ideas. On the other hand though, I also think that you're someone who questions things a lot. So you might question societal norms, you might question current affairs, you might question events going on around the world. Basically, you tend to think bigger and further afield, as you're very much tuned in with wider networks and principles. So you might often think about humanity and why it is the way it is, or you might often think about where humanity is headed, or you might think about what you as an individual can do in order to help out in some way, so to really help humanity, to help your society. So maybe you decide, you know what, I'm gonna volunteer somewhere, or maybe you decide to give to charity, or maybe you join a certain cause that's really focused on creating change for the better in some way. And as you take part in activities like these, maybe you think to yourself, well, I'm doing this for the greater good. It could also be suggested that you're an activist of some kind, so whether that be a human rights activist or an animal rights activist or an environmental activist, whatever activism it is that you sort of take part in, by taking part in these things, you may really come alive, because it feels as if these things are your purpose. You know, they're very purposeful to you. They provide you with a lot of meaning and reason. Or it could even be that you're someone who seeks to educate humanity on what you've learned along your journey. Or maybe you have this real interest in innovation or social reform. You might be a typical social justice warrior, for example. Or maybe you're someone who's more on the right, as you strongly disagree with the whole woke culture of today. Some of you might be all about peace and love and equality, but then others of you might see through these things as you, again, question them. I think it all really depends on where you sit on the political scale, and if you don't really consider yourself all that political, or if you're not a part of the Western political world, then maybe it depends on your demographics. But whatever the case may be, it's suggested that you're someone, Sun in the 11th house, Leo ruling the 11th house, who lights up when you're able to make some sort of difference in the world or within society. You want to be able to know that you can make a change. And you might also be someone who puts forth your unique and your original and inventive ideas, because by doing so, you can help things move forward. You can then help things change. You could very well be that person who starts petitions or who encourages others to sign petitions that you believe in. Though following on from this point, when it comes to goals or ideas or objectives that you really do have confidence in, you will do so with so much strength and so much energy. You will put your heart into what you think is just. You will put your heart into what you believe to be right in your eyes, and you're most likely not going to care about who it might annoy in the process or what other people may think about it. I mean, if others don't like it, then they know where the door is, right? And if others feel inspired by your message, then it's like, yeah, fantastic, great. And to you, if you're able to inspire even just one person with your message, then that's good enough as well. And so when it comes to these collective identities that you join, you might be very expressive as you display these identities with others. So there's certainly no silencing you, Sun in the 11th house, Leo ruling the 11th house individuals. And it could also be suggested that you're quite good at bringing people together. Like I said earlier, you might decide to host classes or certain parties, but you also might be really, really good at event planning or at making group arrangements. You somehow just have this way of getting everyone on the same page or on the same wavelength, where everybody in the group feels like they're a part of something really, really special. But kind of following on from this point in particular, you may be someone who is able to make friends relatively easily, but at the same time, you're not super clingy or cliquey even, where it's, very, very cliquey, because you're able to make friends with various people from different walks of life, and you can be quite diverse and open-minded in this way. Now again, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have a ton of friends that you're super, super close to. It's more so that you're able to find a like-mindedness or like a sort of commonality between you and others, resulting in connections being made. Sure, there may be many acquaintances that you meet along your journey, but the ones who become a part of your tribe, they are the ones who you can truly, truly vibe with and connect with on many, many levels. Though what I will say here is that maybe for you, there needs to be a level of understanding between you and your friends as well, where it's like, yeah, this person really gets me. So yeah, it could be suggested that you manage to do a great job at joining people together in unison. And you also might enjoy introducing your friends to other friends, or maybe you love the whole thought of introducing certain social networks you're a part of to other social networks and kind of making bridges between them. Or quite perhaps it's really important to you that your friends get along well together if ever they're in the same room at the same time. So now that I mention it, times whenever it's your birthday, for example, or times whenever you're hosting a special get-together or an event, perhaps you light up during these times, because essentially this is all of the people that you love coming together in unison and embracing you. Because essentially these are times whenever your friends are applauding you and they're celebrating you. Though likewise, you might be the type of friend who is there to applaud or celebrate your friends as well. You might be a very complimentary friend, so someone who gives your friends plenty of compliments. You might be very warm-hearted and kind, or you might hold friendship to a high importance in your life. Perhaps for you, being a good friend is very, very important. Or maybe you feel that your purpose is to be a good friend to those who you love in your life. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to solely be being a friend to an actual friend, but this could also be you being a good friend to your husband or to your wife or to your partner, or this could be you being a good friend to your brother or to your sister or to your manager or to your boss. Basically, the whole principle of being a friend may just be very special to you. Of course, going with the definition of what you believe to be a good friend. It could also be suggested here that growing up you would gravitate towards certain communities or club-like social situations. So maybe you would join groups at school, or maybe you would join get-togethers at church, or maybe you would get involved with certain activities that your family hosted. And if this was the case, maybe into your adult years, you you really do just enjoy group activities just as much. Essentially, it's just suggested here that being involved with something that requires teamwork and being a part of a group, it's something you enjoy. It's something that you find to be entertaining and fun and pleasurable. And so again, perhaps you come alive and you glow when you're part of these activities. So come to think of it, maybe you're the type of person who carries around loads of little cards in your purse or wallet, or you just keep them there. But these little cards are associated with groups or organizations that you're a part of. Maybe you get certain benefits or certain privileges from being a member. And so you'll pull out your card and just sort of be like, oh yeah, I get 25 cents off my coffee today. Yes. So even if you're not the type of Sun in the 11th house individual who is super out there with joining groups in the world, maybe you're the type of Sun in the 11th house individual who is a member of many companies and organizations because of the cool perks that you get. But you know, whatever way this plays out, Sun in the 11th house, Leo ruling the 11th house individuals, it seems to be that you're someone who truly glows when it comes to your group involvements. You glow and you shine when it comes to your original ideas, and also when it comes to your future visions for humanity, and also, you know, just when it comes to your hopes and wishes for the future for yourself. And so you might seek to get involved with certain parties that resonate with you, or you might seek to entertain others with what you know, or you might give generously to causes that you believe will truly make a difference for the better. But ultimately, in your eyes, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. And if you don't know what that saying means, look it up. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the glow, applause and aliveness of those of you who have Sun within the 11th house in your natal birth chart, and also for those of you who have the sign of Leo there on the 11th house within the birth chart as well. Now, if you happen to have any of these placements, then definitely let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and don't forget to like this video, remember, and subscribe if you have not already. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!